Good morning, crypto Twitter is missing crypto, spreading crypto with doctors showing its benefits to my generation. Shout out to all my people, Gen Z needs to be included. It's really that simple. We are savage, amazed, boss, zesty, making money at the same time, spread peace. I feel empty if you don't include Gen Z. About to change the world, so y'all better get ready. Missing crypto, I'm never backing down. I got a wax account, you should check it out. So many NFTs, I think I lost count, and I'm only getting started. Yeah, I'm barely off the ground. Missing crypto, you cannot stop me. My hands are making diamonds, your hands fall like origami. Never be the boss of me. Bitcoin's all I need. When I say I'm zesty, that's just me talking honestly. Crypto and yum bomb marketplace. I wanna see the more we gotta go through cyberspace. Leave this world without a trace. Say pay for a different day, cause we partners in the cryptos didn't stay.
Hey everyone! Welcome back to the Miss Teen Crypto Show. I hope everyone's having a happy Friday today. I would love if everyone could give a warm welcome to today's zesty guest, Bitboy Crypto. Welcome to the show, Bitboy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Super excited to talk with you and, talk about crypto. It's always a good day when you do that.
Yes, me too. Everyone, if you're here chilling out, like, subscribe, hit that bell button, get notified when we go live in the future, and share this out to your friends. Have everyone hang out and chill with us today. So let's just dive right in. I love your zesty background, your shirt. The vibe is immaculate, Bitboy. So let's just dive right in. Do you mind just sharing with us how you got into Bitcoin, how you found Bitcoin, and what started your crypto journey?
Yeah, so basically back in 2012, I was running a ticket business. I was selling concert and sports tickets, and I had to buy a software. I was posting ads on Craigslist, so I had to buy a software, and the guy had violated, Craigslist terms of services, so they basically sued him and got his payment processors taken out, right? Centralization at its best. And so he had to start taking Bitcoin for the software. And I was like, what in the world is this? It was $12, December of 2012 when I bought it for the first time. And I was actually buying it to do what Bitcoin was meant for, right? Paying for things and, a digital cash like in the beginning. And so it would have been nice if I wouldn't have been paying for things, because I put about $10,000 into Bitcoin, anywhere between, $12 and, $25, $30. Yeah. And
my gosh,
I was just burning the bags. It would be huge right now. They're still doing okay, just so everybody knows. But, so what happened is that in November of 2013, all of a sudden overnight, the small amount of what I had left, it shot way up to thousands of dollars. And I was like, what in the world? Let me go sell this as quick as I can, So I went, I met a guy from localbitcoins.com into McDonald's, and over the Wi-Fi, I transferred the rest of what I had over to him, took my family on vacation, it was nice. Did not think how bad of a decision that was. Now, I remember I was sitting in this McDonald's and I had my laptop with me, and I just was trying to figure out what is this Bitcoin? Really, what is this? Was they're talking about blockchain, mining, some Japanese guy, that created it. And there just wasn't good education resources at that time. All the websites I was looking at, they're jank, and they look like GeoCity sites from the 90s internet, basically. And the information in them wasn't good either. I mean, there was an article I was reading talking about how Satoshi Nakamoto was actually a guy that lived in Japan. And, now we know, of course, we don't know who he is.
Yep.
But so I did that. So fast forward, over 2014, 2015, 2016. Now, after Mt. Gox crashed in 2014, I kind of thought Bitcoin was over. But I still had to buy a little bit here, buy a little bit there. But I wasn't really paying attention to it other than just kind of price watching. But in 2017, I started adding up all the money I should have. It should have been 7 figures that I had, and I didn't have that. Now it'd be 8 figures. But it was just all gone because I made bad financial decisions and I didn't understand what I was investing in. So in 2018, in January, I decided to start my own crypto channel and to go all in crypto and try to pull back that opportunity and still make money in crypto, because I really believed in it, believed it was the future. So that's what we did. We started Bitboy Crypto, like I said, in January 2018. Went full time in crypto in August of 2018, and it was slow going at first, but The channel has been, definitely a blessing to my family. And, we've got a big business, 30 employees right now, looking to add more soon. Wow. So it's been a fun ride.
That's amazing. And I heard you said there that even after Mt. Gox crashed, that you said you thought Bitcoin was over, yet you kept buying more. What was the reason for that?
Yeah. Well, what I mean by when it was over is I just remember like the morning I woke up and I got the Mt. Gox email. Like for anybody who was in crypto at that time, it was just a big, long Chinese email. It was all Chinese characters. You couldn't even understand it. And then at the bottom, it had a translation that was like, oh, yeah, you're screwed. You lost all your money. Now, I didn't have very much in there at the time because I had sold most of what I had. I do have a small Mt. Gox claim. It's worth, maybe $1,000 now or something like that. But, at that point, I was like, I'm not going to pay attention to it. Well, 2015, 2016, it started going back up again a little bit. And I was like, I guess it is going to recover from this. And, I didn't even know Mt. Gox was like started off as like Magic the Gathering website. I didn't even know all the drama that was going along with it. It's just, I thought it was hacked and it was over. That was a big blow because at that point, anyone that was not like a hardcore Bitcoiner, like some of the, a developer or was on Bitcoin Talk Forum, for your average person that just owned Bitcoin at that time, Mt. Gox was the only way you knew how to do it. And BitInstant, that's the only way you knew how to cash out your money. So I was just like, if this is over, then it's probably over. And I had no belief in Bitcoin at that point. I didn't know it was something I could believe in, if that makes sense. So it wasn't until much later when I realized, my mistakes that really started researching and understanding. That's why on my channel, like we really preach to people, you need to understand what you're investing in, because if you don't, you'll make bad decisions like I did.
Exactly. Always, keeping that reminder to your fans, always do your own research. That's so important. And I know it was a big headline this week as well, the crypto nightmare, where people did not take their crypto off of the exchange, and therefore you do have the risk of losing your crypto. So even now, for the average person that doesn't know about self-custody, it could be still almost the same situation, which I think is kind of crazy, considering how much the crypto space has evolved from, for example, you going to meet up with this guy in McDonald's to sell him your Bitcoin to now having exchanges. But now these exchanges, there's still risk there.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I would say the main difference between now and then is, like I alluded to earlier, like there wasn't the resources out there. So I didn't even know self-custody was a thing. Like I didn't know that existed. I thought Mt. Gox was the only place you could have your money. Like I didn't know there were other things. Now when Mt. Gox crashed, now I had one of the reasons why I still knew Bitcoin was, I thought it was over, but one of the reasons I knew that it wasn't was because I still had to keep paying for that service with Bitcoin. So every 3 months, I would still have to go in and load more money. So after Mt. Gox crashed, it was kind of a big deal. We didn't know how to do it anymore. It took them about 6 months to figure out another solution. And that's when Coinbase came out. And Coinbase was, what we moved to next. But in between that time, like I didn't know that you could I certainly didn't know what a paper wallet was or a hot wallet or a, cold storage wallet. I don't even know when ledgers came out, to be honest with you. I don't think they were around at that time. But self-custody and custodianship, that wasn't a word that like people knew back then, other than your hardcore people that, really understood Bitcoin, knew what was going on with it. Or, some of the earliest nerds, is all I like to say.
Where was the point, or what kind of year do you think self-custody was known to you? How long did it take for you to say, okay, so now that I can't hold my money on Mt. Gox, I can't necessarily trust them anymore. What was your next step? Where did you find that self-custody?
Yeah, in 2017, when I really started going back, like I started investing, like really investing and putting money into crypto. And then you had all the YouTube channels. You had all the people out there. They were, doing affiliates for Ledger like we do now. And, they were talking about the different wallets and doing wallet reviews on their channels, back in the day, Crypto Zombie and Crypto Lark, Crypto Daily. Like these were all people that I watched on Crypto Crow on a pretty regular basis. And they were covering all that stuff. So the education was out there for people to really understand. I mean, really nobody before 2017, like I said, outside of just the real hardcore people that knew, anyone that just kind of stumbled into Bitcoin, I mean, you probably did not know what self-custody was until, early 2017 at the earliest.
Wow, that's such an interesting fact. And so when you got into Bitcoin, you were just, just paying for something. So you weren't even
Yeah,
thinking from an investor standpoint
not at all.
or as somebody like you do, what you do now essentially as someone who can create content using cryptocurrency, which I think is so fascinating. There have been a ton of crazy stories about how people entered crypto, like Didi Taihutu, who was on my show as well, saying,
Uh,
he was working with minors and he essentially had no idea what he was doing at first. I think that's amazing how, you just stumble into these things kind of by accident and it changes your life.
Yeah. Well, one of the interesting thing is, it was through my ticket business that I basically stumbled my way into Bitcoin. And my ticket business was basically taken away from me by Craigslist, because Craigslist was where I did all my promotion and advertising in the tickets by dealer section. And overnight, they decided that they were going to totally change all the rules for my section and basically made it impossible for me to have a competitive advantage that I had. So my income got cut down over, several years, like 90%. And eventually it just went away. I stopped doing it. And I just remember there were times, that I was like, I felt like I was cursed. I was like, God, like this is the worst thing ever that happened in my business. Like all of my money is gone. I had a lot of big plans. It was really well. I was making 6 figures. And then all of a sudden I was not making enough to survive. And it was very frustrating. But it was like, even in that darkest time where things weren't going well for me, that was when this Bitcoin thing was opening up. And I didn't even realize it at the time. So it's like, I was thinking about the other day, I was just like, I wish I could go back during that time and kind of, like show myself what was in the future and how great things would come down the road. Because that was a dark time. And that was really where I started, having a disdain and a hatred for centralized authorities like Craigslist and their terms of services, making it difficult for business to operate and having no concern at all about the families of those people running those businesses.
I know, that's so sad. I'm sorry that happened to you, but in my opinion at least, everything happens for a reason. So you were just being pushed in this direction, which I think is so funny. And I want to know, when did you start out being a part of the crypto community on social media wise, like starting your Twitter? Did you have the intent at first to start as an influencer or a public personality, or you just came on Twitter just to tweet?
Yeah. So when I first got on Twitter, I was using a different account. I was like using my personal Twitter that I had for a long time. I haven't used it in years now. And I was just doing it to kind of like survey the landscape. Like, look, it was when John McAfee was tweeting a coin of the day, every day. And I guess it was maybe November of 2017. It was like, wow. I wanted the information. I wanted the groups. I wanted everybody to tell me what the hottest coins were. And so from Twitter, then I kind of stumbled upon YouTube. And it was really watching YouTube that and being so passionate about crypto at that time, I really started thinking like, how can I get involved in this? And I don't know, have you heard the story of my channel? Do you know how I got everything started?
I actually haven't heard the complete story, and I'm sad I didn't, because we actually hung out in Miami, which is so funny. Yeah. But explain your whole entire backstory. I want Gen Z to know, because I love what you do. So go off. Yeah.
So like, this is the story about how I became a 38-year-old man named Bitboy, like where people call me Bitboy. So what I wanted to do was my goal for my channel when I started was not to be like an influencer. It was kind of actually to be a little more behind the scenes and create a comic book cartoon, basically. So what I came up with this idea, Justin, who is now my VP of NFT development here, he's a great friend of mine. I've known him, for 12 or 15 years. And he was like, man, I got this idea for this character. His name's Bitboy. And he's going to like be a crypto superhero. And we had a turtle. He has a loyal sidekick, which we have NFTs of all this now, but his name is Hodl. So the original name of my channel was Bitboy and Hodl. And it was supposed to be a cartoon series. It was going to be basically an animated series about a crypto superhero. But what happened is I made my channel in January of 2018, which was the worst possible time to start a crypto YouTube channel. It was the very peak of the market, and people didn't want to see fun stuff. Nobody wanted to see anything fun. They didn't want to see cartoons. They didn't want to see memes unless it was me out losing money because everybody was so bitter during that time. So a couple months into it, I was like, this is not getting a return on the investment of my time. So either I need to quit this or do something different. And my friend was like, man, you've got a really good way of communicating with people. You know a lot about crypto, which, by the way, I didn't know a lot about crypto at that point like I do now. But I was willing to learn, and through making a lot of videos, I learned a lot more about crypto, obviously. But he said, you got such a great way of doing that. Like, you should make videos giving people news about crypto. And I was like, I was very hesitant at first. I was like, I don't really want to do that because I tried a YouTube channel before, very unsuccessful. I mean, I never even got to 100 subscribers, and I just said I wasn't going to do it again. And it was kind of the same thing. Like, I was talking, very similar to a news video on crypto. And so I decided, like, okay, we'll give it a try. And so my first video, like, it got like maybe 500 or 600 views, and felt pretty good about that for hardly having like any subscribers. Where I had 60 subscribers at the time. And so man, maybe there's something about this. And so I started interviewing people, and over time on the channel, people started calling me Bitboy. Like, Bitboy is my character. That's what we created to be like a fun comic thing, which now we can bring to reality with NFTs and all kinds of different stuff we're doing here at this point. But it took years to get back to that. So that was the idea of my channel and how I started out. It had nothing to do with like, hey, I want to do a video, I want to do a channel and make news videos. We're so far away from what we started as. But still educating people became my passion. And I really started tying together the fact that I lost all my money because I was uneducated on crypto. And so giving people a chance to get that education, it was something we strive for. So that was a little bit of the transition. That's where Bitboy came from. It's not, I wasn't like, all right, what kind of nickname do I want to give myself? How about Bitboy with gray hair, so pretty fun.
That's amazing. Again, it's like you didn't even start where you are now podcasting. You were doing an animated show, which is absolutely genius. A crypto show, which is like something that people are trying to do now. Not necessarily. I know Stoner Cats is trying to do something similar. So I know TV shows are making their way and making headway in the NFT space, which is so amazing. And I love that you mentioned NFTs and how you integrated your show into NFT technology, essentially. Yeah. So when did you put out your first NFT, and what was it?
Yeah, so we actually, the Bitboy superhero has always been the logo of the channel. People know the Bitboy face, which turned out to be great branding. It turned out to be awesome for us.
100%.
But I didn't have plans to do much with it. Maybe one day in the distant future, I thought, maybe we could turn it into something. But when NFTs really started coming around, I was like, hold up here. This could be a way for us to get back to the original vision of the channel and really introduce these, crypto superheroes into the environment. And so back in, I guess it would have been, I believe, early August, so about a year ago, a little over a year ago, was when we started NFTs. We did the Bitboy. We did 4 characters, I think, first, 4 to 6 characters. We just released them on Rareable. And, Justin, who helped me name the channel and everything, he did that with me. We started those. I was like, man, I don't know if this is going to do anything. He's like, man, I can make these really cool cards. We can sell them on Rareable. I think they'll do really well. I didn't think we were going to sell any. I was like, maybe our audience will buy some. But, I mean, we sold in August of last year, the first weekend, we sold $200,000 worth of NFTs.
Wow! Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. It was basically a sign and a stamp that like we were going to be in this space to stay, and that idea was going to work. We didn't do it for money. Like, we didn't do it like, hey, we're going to make all this money, put these NFTs out. We were just like, let's put these out there. Let's see what the community thinks about them. They started reselling, and things went absolutely phenomenal. We were the #1 seller on Rareable for 2 months. Had some issues with them. We don't do anything over there anymore, but, it worked out phenomenal. And the money was great because that money would eventually roll into us being able to hire people for NFTs, hire graphic designers, hire, Justin is my NFT head of development. And it showed us there's such interest here in these comic book heroes. And so now we've got a full comic book on the way. We've got DC artists that work on it. We had our Bitverse Punks, which was all of our Bitverse characters. That's what we call our Bitboy world, Bitverse. We had Bitverse Punks that we launched on Wax. I think we launched those on Wax. Can't remember where we launched them. I think it was.
Know about those?
Yeah, we launched those on Wax, and those crushed it. They sold out almost immediately. No. It wasn't Wax and Bitverse Punks. Where did we put those out at? I can't even remember. We put the our original Bitverse cards are on Rarible. The second form we launched with Wax. We did do a Bitverse comics launch with Wax. I can't remember where we launched our punks at. I can't remember that anymore. I remember it was, it starts with an M. Mintable. Hey. Yeah. So we did a really big launch on Mintable with the Bitverse punks. By the way, every single website and platform that we've launched NFTs on, we've crashed it. Every single one. Within 5 minutes of release, we crash everything we go to because we got the best community in crypto, the Bit Squad. We love the Bit Squad. I don't know if you saw our show today. We did a really funny thing. I called the SEC live on air and I left a message. And it was just really funny. We looked it up. There's a regional office in Atlanta, and this just shows the power of my community. The Atlanta SEC had 6 reviews on Google for a 1.6 out of 5 score. Within 20 minutes of showing it on my channel, we had over 300 Google reviews, and the SEC has under a 1-star score now on Google. So our community is just really passionate. Yeah, it was so funny. It's one of the funniest things we did. Just off the cuff, I was like, man, let me just call this number, So anyways, the whole thing is our community is so supportive. They love everything we do. And we constantly are giving utility. So one thing we do with a lot of our NFTs is like with the Bitverse punks, we do an airdrop every week. $10,000, we get a token to donate the $10,000. And then that $10,000 and that token gets dispersed between every holder of a specific card. And so that's what we're trying to do with everything. We got a new NFT project called the Pluto Alliance, which is coming out, which is actually our first project that's not Bitboy specifically related. It's not the Bitverse. We're really excited about it. It's going to launch. We got a lot of cool stuff up our sleeves with that. So we love NFTs, and we're really excited to see where it's going to go. It's one of the biggest parts of our business here.
Wow. So you've launched on quite a lot of platforms, a lot of diversity. You have some ETH, you got some Wax. Are you looking to mint on other blockchains or? Yeah.
We've also done Theta. We did a big launch with Theta where we did. So we had all kinds of different utility with Theta. We had some that came with physical hats. We had some that came with different stuff. But two of the cool things was we did one that came with a 1-hour Zoom call with me. So basically, the other night I met with the holders. There were 10 cards. Not all the holders showed up to the call. I think we had 6 or 7 show up. So I had an hour. I actually stayed on an hour and a half, talked to them all. They asked questions. It was a real fun community thing. The next week with Theta, for one of the other NFTs, it's a poker game. So Theta set up a poker game, a virtual poker game. So we're going to be playing poker with some of the members of the Bit Squad and the owners of those NFTs, which is pretty cool. So Theta's one. We got several of the metaverse projects that we're looking at launching some stuff with. But we also are in talks with doing stuff with Engine and Efinity. So Efinity is the new Engine NFT project that's going to be on Polkadot. So we're going to be, doing that, some big stuff with them. We don't even know what we're going to do. I think I got a pretty good idea for that. I can't remember if I told my NFT guy what it is, but there's a pretty good ideas for what we want to do for some of that stuff too. So we are going to continue, pimping our NFTs out on different platforms until we find a platform that can handle our traffic, because that's been a big problem. A lot of them are good. We've had good experience. We sold almost every NFT we put out, but the fact that we continue to crash platforms every time we go means the space really is not ready for mainstream adoption yet. So we need to find some platforms that can actually handle our traffic.
That's actually a very good point. I know that, sometimes MLB or, the Saw movie actually dropped on Wax, and a lot of the networks get congested, even if there's a big ETH drop. I know a lot of people are buying Bored Apes, and when Stoner Cats went live, for example, there was a lot of traffic, and the networks couldn't handle it. So you are right. Yeah. There is a lot of, development that needs to be made, but even from where you were all the way back in 2012 all the way to now, there has been a lot of development and a lot of, innovation in this space, and there's just so much more to come, because there's still, not flaws, but technical difficulties we have to overcome.
And absolutely. I think that if a great example of this is DEXs. Like DEXs for a long time. If we go back to 2017, the first time I ever used a DEX, I was talking about with my friend, it took us 6 hours to try to figure out how to do one transaction. I think either Delta was the one we were using back then. It's not even around anymore. And it took us 6 hours to figure out how to do one transaction. And I thought it would be years and years before DEXs took off. It was a buzzword. People talked about it all through 2018. I was like, this will never take off. People want centralized exchange where they go, they put their money in, they get their crypto out, and boom, it's done. They don't want to have to go and like wait for somebody else to fill their order and all this stuff. But if you look at how far DEXs have come in such a short period of time, it really is a testament to the innovation in crypto and how fast this adoption can take place. So now this isn't mainstream adoption. This is adoption within the crypto community, which certainly does have an impact on mainstream adoption down the road. But, when people first started using DEXs in crypto, like still, the mainstream had no idea what they were. I mean, I think a lot of people know what Uniswap is now, but I would say there's still, I want to say a majority of people in crypto, but a large percentage of people in crypto that couldn't even tell you what a DEX is still.
That's so funny. And it's true. I mean, I've used the DEX a few times, like Uniswap, and it was fairly simple. You just one coin in, simple. One coin out, and it's pretty much done. But, it's kind of scary sometimes. I'm sure other people feel like this as well when doing Ethereum transactions. You're just like shaking in your boots because you're like, I sent my Ethereum, it's gone. Where's my other coin? It's nerve-wracking still. And, the time frame, I think that's gonna develop as well. And we're still so early, which I think is great. I mean, I approach people on the street all the time, and 8 to 9 out of 10 people do not know what Bitcoin is, which is so bullish considering even you've seen the impact that Bitcoin and NFTs have made thus far. Imagine when 6 out of 10 people know what Bitcoin is, 5 out of 10 people. Oh my gosh, like we won't even be able to imagine the space as you couldn't imagine DEXs moving this fast in just a few years.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we love on my channel to talk about potential, exactly. And when you look at the potential of how far crypto can go based on, like I said, on crypto Twitter, on crypto YouTube, on Telegram groups, Discord groups, anything that's crypto related, we are in such an echo chamber and a bubble. These are all people that are highly involved in crypto. Your average person that owns crypto on Coinbase, they don't have a clue what any of this stuff is. They just know like they downloaded Coinbase, they bought some Bitcoin or they bought some Ethereum or they bought some Ripples. That's what they would say. They bought some Ripples,
They bought some Ripples.
They bought some Ripples. But, so there's still so much potential. Because one of my kind of predictions for this bull run, I think we're seeing it happen. I said this back in a video I made on December 31st of 2019. I said for this bull run, by the end of it, Ethereum would be a household name. Bitcoin is a household name. Most people have heard of Bitcoin, but I think what we're seeing now is now getting to a place where a lot of people have heard about Ethereum. They don't know much about it, but they've at least heard of it. And really nothing else is on that level with Bitcoin and Ethereum next. Cardano and XRP probably right there behind it. But I think it's very interesting to see the potential of, not only people getting involved in Bitcoin, but people getting involved in Ethereum and other cryptos.
Yeah, I totally agree. So where do you see the crypto space and NFTs evolving in the next 5 years, if you could picture that?
Yeah. So in general, I believe that we're about 5 to 10 years from mainstream crypto adoption, where it's infiltrating everything we do. And it's not just crypto; it's where blockchain is, the underlying infrastructure that lines the internet. Because the internet is broken as it is, and I love to talk about this because how many times have you heard somebody say, "Well, crypto is like the Wild West"? You've heard people say that.
Ton of times, can't even count it.
Yeah. Wrong. Crypto is not like the Wild West. The internet is still in the Wild West. It's only been around since 1991. Exactly. Public internet. And when you look at all the flaws of the internet, the privacy concerns, the fact kids can get into all kinds of stuff on the internet, they don't need to be seeing like very quickly. The fact that predators can stalk young kids on the internet as well. Like there's so much of it that we have to fix. And I feel like blockchain is a key component to fix a lot of that stuff. So I think 5 to 10 years down the road, we're going to see a lot of those solutions. As far as NFT goes, NFTs are something that's in DeFi. And I would also say gaming coins. These are the 3 most interesting things to me for the bear market. When we do go into a bear market, I believe by the end of this year, because these are three things that we didn't really have in the bear market last time. Like, yes, Engine did exist. We had some gaming coins, but not to the extent where we actually have use case and users for a lot of these gaming tokens like Axie Infinity or, many of the other ones as well. So these are niches to watch in the bear market. For NFTs specifically, I have a very kind of wonky idea of what this is going to look like. Number one, the mainstream is coming through NFTs for sure. How fast it comes is a different question, but it's much easier to sell digital products than physical products. So we're going to see a lot of different businesses and online retailers move towards selling NFTs as digital products because it's cheaper for them to create and easier for them to send out. Like you think a movie company, like they're going to send out virtual movie posters instead of real movie posters. So these are things to watch for. But the very interesting thing to me will be watching the price of the tokens versus the price of the collectibles themselves. Because I believe the actual price of NFTs is not going to follow along with the bear bull cycle. Just like baseball cards or, movie memorabilia, Pokemon cards, they have their own market cycle that they go through. It's not dependent on anything else. So I think we're going to see a disconnection between the prices of some of these coins and the use case and the price of some of the actual NFTs.
Wow, that's such a great point. And I really agree because there's so many people that are coming in to NFTs. And I feel like a lot of the mainstream is watching us, the little guy, figure out all the kinks and things we have to figure out, all the technology, how to actually do this stuff and show them. And that way the mainstream can just come in and say, hey, I'm here. And this is all figured out pretty much already. I know CNBC is launched an NFT. A lot of, even SNL, they did a song, What is an NFT? Launched it as an NFT. It's happening. There's a lot of utility, as you said, now compared to the last bull run, which I think is pretty amazing. I know the gaming community is huge with NFTs and how easily that could be integrated. I'm sure your kids play video games, right? And imagine taking one outfit or one skin from one game to another. That's not even within the same company. There's just so much room for growth. So I also want to have you shout out, what do you do on your channel for everyone who hasn't visited yet?
Yeah, so basically we provide, we do a daily live stream Monday through Friday in the mornings where we give you all the latest news in crypto. In the evenings, we have a show called Around the Blockchain where we bring on other YouTubers from around the space to get perspectives on that news. You can kind of think of it, similar to what they do on news channels or, sports channels. It's like, in the morning you get all the news, in the evening you get the perspectives. Then we usually have another video during the day, or every day we have another video around midday, around 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time that is going to give you, whether it's a Cardano update, maybe an Ethereum or an XRP update, maybe something, a topical based upon what's going on in the crypto space. But here at Bitboy Crypto, our mission statement is empowering people to find financial freedom through crypto assets. And that's what I've done. And we certainly want every one of our audience to do the same.
Wow, that's so amazing. I'm so happy that you're able to educate people and onboard people into this space, which is what I'm essentially trying to do as well. And you're just a really good role model for other influencers and people in general, because you're such a kind person and you genuinely care about the space and how it develops and how people get into this space. You're not just trying to, pump your bags and say, buy Bitcoin, buy this coin, buy that coin. No. You're onboarding people. You're saying, okay, this is the way that, download your exchange, but take it off the exchange, self-custody, things like that. And I think that's truly amazing, and we need more of that. So, and I love what you're doing, bringing other people onto the show, inclusivity, which who doesn't love inclusivity? Everyone's having a good time. And speaking of inclusivity and hanging out with influencers, I know you go to a lot of conferences. How many conferences have you been to? I'm just curious.
That's a good question. I would say probably at least 10. Now, you guys know we didn't have any for a year and a half, so I've been to the Bitcoin conference several times, been to World Crypto Con several times, LA Blockchain Summit, I'll be going for the second time, and then just some different random ones. I went to one in Las Vegas, went to a couple different ones in Las Vegas, Voices of Blockchain in Chicago. It's where I actually met Jay Chains or Justin, who does a lot of shows with me, and Crypto Wendy O. It's where I met her as well. So it's just one of those things where I love going to the crypto conferences. Like, I love meeting people to watch the channel. And, when someone meets me in person, I think it's really easy for people to tell how much we care, because I want to hear from every person. Like if you see me in public or you see me at a conference, I will stay there until I talk to everybody that wants to talk to me, because if it's not for the people watching my channel, I have nothing, you know, like, so people are always surprised, like, oh, you seem really interested to hear what I have to say. I'm like, yeah, like if it's not for you, I don't exist, you know? So I love getting the feedback and talking to the community, to the Bit Squad. And, you know, sometimes I meet people that aren't super big fans of the channel, and, you know, I'll surprise them, you know, they might be surprised to hear me in person and to find out that I'm the same person off camera that I am on camera. So we love going to the conferences and meeting people. We're going to be doing a meetup in LA for LA Blockchain Summit along with Crypto Indio and Altcoin Daily, early November. So just, you know, a lot of exciting stuff going on.
Wow, I'm so excited for you. So LA Blockchain Summit in November. Guys, definitely check that out. Keep up with Bitboy's page on that regard. Are you coming back to Miami in November by any chance?
What is in November? I did not know
Miami Crypto Experience. They're having a second round in November.
I did not know that.
November 10th to the 12th.
I went to that conference last year or this year. That was earlier this year.
Yeah, that was April. That's where we met.
Yeah, that is.
Yes.
So I don't know, because I think I'll actually be. What is the date on that?
November 10th to the 12th.
Yeah, I'm going to be in Las Vegas, I think. So I'm going to be playing in the World Series of Poker, I think. We'll see what happens.
Oh my God. That's so cool. So you're a poker guy.
Oh yeah, I love poker. Love poker for sure. So now that I don't have to worry about like trying to grind and make money to feed my family playing poker, it's a lot more fun. I can just go have fun and try to win tournaments, and, you know, it's fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have like a straight face for that, right? You gotta be like, ooh, that was good.
You like that? That was good.
That was good.
Well, you know, I got it.
I mean, listen, if it were me, I have no poker face. I'm the worst liar. Like, my face gets so red, my eyes get big. Like, I have to have like sunglasses on, like a mask or something.
Yeah. The masks are good for poker. The masks can be good for poker players because they can hide your face. So
it's so funny. Like, I was watching TV the other night and I was just like scrolling through and I saw poker and I saw like these guys wearing like a mask and the sunglasses. I was like, see, they're playing it right. They're doing it right. Like, they can be giggling under there, like ready to throw down their cards. I don't really know how it works. We just throw down their cards and say, I got this. This is mine. Yeah. See, I don't know poker, but I feel like you got to teach me. We got to play, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I'd love to take your money.
I mean, listen, I might take your money. So watch out. Watch out.
Sure.
Listen, I'm a big left, right, center person. Have you ever played left, right, center?
No, I have not.
Oh, man, this is a good one. I don't know if anyone in the comments has played either, but I play this at my family events. It's like 3 dice. I have LCR on it and a dot. So basically you roll the die and you start off with $3 and you roll 3 dice. And basically, like, if you get a left, you hand the person to your left $1, or if it's center, you put it into the pot. It's fun, but it turns into degenerate gambling for me. And I guess that's why
sounds like dice rolling on the corner. I love it.
Man, I get too into this stuff. You know, I can't go to Vegas. Like, I'll probably go to the slots and be like, ching, ching, you know, just the whole time. You know, gotta stick with buying my crypto and hodling that, you know, not getting into, you know,
the crypto casino.
The crypto casino, which is a thing, right? Have you ever taken part in crypto casinos at all?
No, I didn't. There was one that was going on while I was in World Crypto Con, but I didn't get to go to it because I had a scheduling conflict for that one. But it sounds fun.
It does sound fun. I know there's crypto hotels opening up. Bitboy, we're getting zesty.
Oh, yeah.
Here. We're getting
I know. Zesty. I love it.
I know it's okay. So it's 4:40. I know you got to go soon. So is there any, you know, last message you want to send out to the gang out here listening to us, or shout out your channels? Where can everybody find you?
Well, everybody can find me. It's really easy. You just search Bitboy Crypto. I don't have to like plug my stuff really. It's good. We are approaching 5 million total followers between all our socials, which is a huge milestone. I don't think anybody's even half that right now. So we're excited about that number. We're gonna be putting out some press releases. It's kind of a big deal. So got that going on. I think you've got your friend's dad I wanted to shout out.
Yes, Caleb.
What's his name?
Fernando.
Caleb?
Kayla's my friend. So Kayla, if you're watching this with your dad, what's up? We're here.
What's up, Kayla's dad?
Yeah.
You got a fanny pack. I do.
This is
Ad live.
great.
Let's go.
Yes, I was telling everyone, I was telling Bitboy before, because that was a little bit of a random comment. Before, I was talking to him about how I got my best friend and her dad to start purchasing crypto, as well as a few others in her family. And once he started getting into crypto, who else would he watch but Bitboy? Maybe not.
That's right.
Maybe he'll subscribe
Maybe
to my
Miss Teen
channel.
Crypto.
Maybe
at
one
this
day,
point.
but you're the main guy. And so when he told me he was listening to you, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually having him on my show. And he's like, you have a show? And I was like, yeah, I do, man. But
That's pretty funny.
I'm sorry, man. But yeah, shout out to you guys and shout out to Bitboy because your fan base is strong and it's local. And I'm just so happy that people have somebody like you to enter the space because once I came into the space, you were one of the first people I turned to as well to follow and to keep up with because like I said before, you're positive and you're influential in the best way. So thank you so much for being you. And thank you for joining me today. This was a really good show. I really had a blast. Everyone at home, if you enjoyed the show, drop a like, subscribe, hit that little bell again, and share with your friends. This is a vibe. Bitboy, again, thank you so much for coming on today. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for coming. And have a great weekend, everybody. Happy Friday. Stay zesty. Peace.
Good morning, crypto Twitter is missing crypto, spreading crypto with doctors showing its benefits to my generation. Shout out to all my people, Gen Z needs to be included. It's really that simple. We are savage, amazed, boss, zesty, making money at the same time, spread peace. I feel empty if you don't include Gen Z. About to change the world, so y'all better get ready. Missing crypto, I'm never backing down. I got a wax account. You should check it out. So many NFTs, I think I lost count.